Well, good morning. It's raining today. Today's Wednesday, 26th September 2018, and Thanksgiving 2018 is approaching fast. And I got my little friend with me. Bought him and his buddy out there, but with a smile on his face, he doesn't know that he's about to, it's his day. So what we're going to do today is going to make some more pumpkin puree. And I'm going to try some different recipes. My wife's going right now, and I can sneak in some special little ingredients. So, okay, little buddy, it's about time we go to work. Okay, I've gathered up some equipment I'm going to need to do this job, and of course a good flat pan. And this is really handy paper, parchment paper. It you can cook with it, and it also is good to put down. I'm going to put it inside this pan here, a couple pieces in here, and what I'll be doing is laying the pumpkin down on the parchment paper, keep it from sticking to the pan, and it also gives me a little flexibility being able to move the pumpkin around a little bit. Okay, parchment paper. Good stuff. And I'll tell you, they keep coming up with better and better stuff to do better and better things. And you got to have a good blender. The pumpkin, of course, I've got is going to produce about 2 quarts of puree. Once I puree it, but got to puree it in something like this. A food processor or a bullet. One of these bullets, if you're going to do a small amount of puree or a special recipe or something, you can put it in there and do it. But I prefer doing it here. Spices. We got pumpkin pie spice, and we got allspice. The usual things that you put in pumpkin pie. And my secret ingredients is stevia to give it a little sweetness. This pumpkin is yummy good by itself. With these spices in here, when we did this yesterday, and with these spices and the texture of this pumpkin is so sweet. You almost don't need any sweetener. So I've got to be careful. I have often, because this is a powder, this is pure, and too much of this will give it a very bitter flavor. So the next thing, of course, we need is Mr. Sad Face here. He knows, no, he's still smiling, but he really knows that it's about to come to an end. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be chopping him in half. Hopefully in equal halves. Of course, you need a good knife, spoon that's great to pull out the insides of the pumpkin. So right now, let me prep a little bit more. Okay, I'm about to do surgery here. So to do this surgery, I need to lay down some paper because it's going to be a mess. And may want to take the children in the other room because Mr. Smiley Face is about to get it. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split him in half, starting here. And believe me, these pumpkins are tough. And it's a tough old job to split these jobbers because the pie pumpkins have a thick coating, and of course you get a lot of meat out of them, which you'll see when I get this one done. Well, as usual, I got it split in half, didn't split it directly in half, I didn't get a handle on the other piece. But this is what it looks like split in half. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean all this stuff outside, put it in this bag, put it in the garbage. You can keep these seeds and make salt them, roast them and salt them, and make a nice little snack. Kids probably like that. But anyway, that's what the two halves look like, and that's the job I've got right now, is to clean them out. That's why the handy dandy spoon comes in handy. You don't want a weak spoon because you're going to be doing a lot of hard work with this. Probably the hardest thing in this whole thing is clean it out, and that's a tough job, getting all this out right. And then once it bakes, then you got to get the meat out, which is the yummy part. So what we're going to do is get in here and get all this nasty little seeds and stuff out of there. And this one, it's got some hidden cavities down here. It's a little bit different than the one I did before. So it may take considerably longer to clean. It's like any melon normally. You got this inside here you got to clean out. So that's what the job is right now. Okay, it looks like it's pretty clean. This is what it's going to look like when you get it cleaned out. And a little hint on this, the stuff that the mush or whatever it is in there, if you kind of trim it around, don't worry about it if you trim down into it, because this is all going to be dug out eventually and put in the blender to puree. So you're not, it doesn't have to look pretty. You just need to get as much of this stringy stuff out. Don't know what it tastes like if it was to cook up, but it sure doesn't look very good at this point. So this is what it looks like now. I'm going to do the other one. And once I get them done, then I'll take this, lay it down, face down on the parchment paper, and we're eventually going to put them down here to bake at 375 degrees. And I'll bake it 45 minutes and test it. The problem is, it's not like you test some things, put a fork in it. This is very hard to get anything through this, a knife, fork, or whatever, but the heat doesn't cook this or soften this up much. So 45 minutes, if you do it an hour, that's okay. If it goes an hour, if you don't feel good about it and don't want to take it out and start taking the meat out of it at that time, go ahead and do it an hour. Okay, we've about got that one cleaned out, and that looks pretty good. And of course, there's going to be a little stuff in there, but it'll cook up. And then we're going to lay this one down, just like that one. Move this over a little bit, and I don't think he's smiling now. But yeah, he is. He's still smiling. So lay that a little bit over there. This on a little bit here. Give me some parchment paper, Mr. Pumpkin. And guess I'll turn the oven on, 375 degrees, and get my timer set at 45 minutes, and I can go get all the rest of my equipment ready. So let's do the now that the pumpkins are cleaned out. They're put face down on the parchment paper in the pan, and the oven is now warming up. About another 2 minutes. It'll be up to the 375 degrees, and then we'll put it in the oven and let them cook once again for 45 minutes. An hour is not too long, so let's let the oven warm up. Okay, the timer's went off, and now we're going to put them in the oven. It's at 375 degrees. Put it on the top shelf. Be easier to get out. This is a pretty heavy little basket of stuff here. A little tray. And now, of course, we'll set our timer. Oh, gotta set it. Now, after a hard mornings of scraping pumpkin out, surgery, this doctor has to have a little medicine. And I have my little special drink here, 16-ounce glass of purified water, and a spoonful lemon juice. And this here apple cider vinegar is with Mother. It's the best you can get for anything that you want to put in. I put a spoonful of apple cider vinegar in my drink. Don't want to make it too strong. You'll get to the point you don't like it and you need to drink it all the time. Keeps you purified. It helps detox your liver. And I use to help cut it what is called sweet drops. It's a stevia, sweet drops. It's pretty much pure stevia, but it's easier to handle. So I put a good dropper full or so in that. Stir it up, put my ice cubes in, sit down, relax, wait for the time for the 45 minutes to pass, and man, I'm hepped up, ready to go again. Lemon juice, apple cider vinegar with Mother in it, and a little stevia. About all you need. I don't use the powder stevia in my drink because it would make it too strong, and this is just fine. This is the best sweet drops for liquid. And use this when you're cooking or something like that. But it's good. If you're a diabetic, that's the only way to go. Okay, time is passing. So far, 46 minutes left. Oh, wait a minute. I must have set it for more than 45 minutes. Well, 50 minutes. Okay, the timers went off and the two halves have baked for approximately a little over 45 minutes. And the reason we bake this first is to prep the meat in the pumpkin for grinding it up and pureeing it. And also it helps separate it from the outside, the skin of the pumpkin. So let's open it and get her set up here. Oh, problem in wearing glasses. The steam comes up. And if you notice that, turn the oven off, don't think we need that on anymore. If you notice when we set this on our paper, the reason we set it face down is it helps contain the moisture of the meat as it's baking. And of course, the outside skin is still tough. It's a little softer when it bakes up. But now we let it set for 15 or 20 minutes. And the reason we do that, if we was to try to scrape the meat out, put it in the blender to puree it now, we'd burn our hands. So it takes about 15-20 minutes, probably 20 minutes today because it's not so cool in here. And we'll let it set, then we can handle it, and then we'll go through the process of scraping it out, making the puree, adding the mixtures, the ingredients for seasoning, and then we'll have puree. Beautiful, mellow, good texture, fresh puree, pumpkin puree, something to die for. Okay, now we got them out of the oven. I'm going to turn them over so they cool a little bit faster in the time limit I got. And also, you can see how pretty they are inside. Lovely. They've cooked nice, and it'll be delicious once it's grated. Beautiful. See, it's golden yellow and fresh, and let them rest. Take a break, Mr. Pumpkinhead, and about a 20-minute break for today. Oh, we've got the quart jars out, all cleaned up, 2 quarts. That'll make at least 2 quarts. So if we have any more, I just will eat it. I know the TV's making a lot of noise and I got it on, but thought while I was waiting on this to cool, I'd watch Matlock. And of course he reminded me I needed a hot dog. So I've got my hot dog. Now I need a little mustard on it. And of course I like the Southwest hot mustard. And it really goes good with my apple cider vinegar drink. So I'm ready. I'm ready to sit down, wait for that to cool, eat my hot dog, and watch a little matter. Our cooling time of the pumpkins has come to an end, and it feels like it is usable stuff, and it's hard, but once we puree it, it'll be yummy good. Now, once I'm going to move the food processor over here a little closer, so when I dig it out, I can just put it right in to the top of the processor. This processor, using this particular blade, and process it. It should be one should pretty much fill this up, and this stuff is so thick and nice that it puts a strain on the motor. And this is a pretty tough machine, a KitchenAid, and so let's dig it a little out here, show you what we want to do here. The reason now we let it cool is because we have to grab onto it to get in here to get this meat out. So as you can see that when it was very hot, my hand, or I'd have to wear gloves, would have to, and get it over here a little closer. And so for the next while, I'm going to be digging meat out of this thing and putting it in the blender here. So once we get the blender filled, we'll look at it in a different light. Okay, now it's pretty well cleaned out, and I suppose I could clean some more out of it, but I got the yummy good part out of it, the meat. This is the meat. It's all in the blender here, and now we're going to get the blender. We can put our spices in here, down through here as it's blending, but we need to get it broken down a little bit more, and once we get it broken down, then it'll accept the spices a little bit more. As you're going to hear, this is the machine's going to have a little drag on it. It doesn't sound like it's running very fast, but it's in there Korean. You see it moving around in there a little bit. I got my spices I'm going to put in here, and I got them out here. I got allspice, pumpkin pie spice, and my stevia. So what I'm going to use is only a half a teaspoon of stevia, and it's not going to be even up to level because it's so strong. Half a teaspoon will be probably more than enough for half of this pumpkin. So turn it on, turn it down here, dump that spice in. Sweetener, that's not a spice. Now on the other spice, I'm going to use a teaspoon, just a level teaspoon, nothing too demanding. Because you don't want too much spices on stuff. The raw stuff tastes so daggone good. And now we're just going to wait till it gets hurried just a little bit more. It's starting to darken a little bit and mix the spices with it. As you can see, it's darkened considerably. So let's Let's pop the top off and check out the texture of it. Smells good. Smells like a pumpkin pie. And there's the texture of it, which I believe there's no lumps. The biggest thing is you want to check, make sure you don't have any lumps. So now what I'm going to do is I've got to get the blade out of here, and I got the half of the pumpkin laying open over here, so I can just set stuff down in it. The blade out, set it on that pumpkin. Got my little cloth here. It's getting a little bit nasty, but without any help, I'm going to have to do this myself. Usually, if me and the wife works it, I will tip it, and she will guide it out into the bowl. So hopefully I don't make too big of a mess like I usually do. You probably can't see that, but the quart jar is filling up rather quickly. In fact, it's almost full. So there is a quart jar of yummy, good pumpkin puree. I'm going to have a taste. Yeah, even with this small amount of half a teaspoon of sweetener, I could have went half that amount, quarter. And what I might do is we'll just leave this here, let it cool, and it's not quite as yummy if you get it too sweet as it would be if you got it just right. I'm doing the other half of the pumpkin now, and as you can see, this is the kind of lumps you want to make sure that you get smoothed out, and the puree is all smooth like this right here. And these are big lumps, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get them processed down into a usable puree. So let's crank the old machine up and let it work a little bit more. And we'll have another quart. It appears that I finally got all the lumps out of this and got some nice, smooth, beautiful puree. And of course now it's time to put it in the quart jar, put it in the storage area. So I'm going to quart jar, whatever container a person wants to put it in, and of course being fresh and no preservatives in it, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, keep it in the refrigerator. And when the wife wants to make some pumpkin pies, or the good stuff that she makes with pumpkin all the time, then it'll be in there fresh, well sealed up, not no chemicals or anything in it except spices. And there it goes, one full quart of yummy good puree. Well, for what you get out of getting a pumpkin and making the puree or pumpkin pie filling yourself is well worth the small little effort it takes. Doesn't take any effort at all to speak of, and I guarantee you it's going to be a lot tastier and healthier for you. And you can spice it any way you want. Try out a few quarts. Make up one and try spicing the different quarts. That's what I did on this one. And you can come to a conclusion on what you want, how you want it to taste, before you ever get ready to bake it in a pot. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good day.